Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. We do have some slick roads tonight with a travel alert for portions of North Dakota. I'll have the latest on the radar. Winds are starting to taper up, but is big snow in the future? The details are coming up on Hutch's weather right now.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, thanks again to my fine sponsors at Robert Gibb and Sons. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on right now with the area road conditions and the radar. Now, as we take a look at hutchesweather.com, you're going to notice a couple of things on the interactive radar, that there was some snow that made its way through the region a little bit earlier, but most of our problems today have been from the winds that were gusty from the north and from the west. So not a lot showing up on the radar, but I must tell you, we do have some very slippery conditions across the area. By the way, if you're visiting my website, I sure appreciate if you take the time to keep my fine sponsors in mind across the area as we head into the next couple of months. There's a couple of things you may want to know about KAJ Hospitality. If you have family coming over to spend time, there are 5 hotel properties KAJ manages here in the FM area. Not only can they provide a place for your friends and neighbors to lay their head at night, they are a fantastic option when it comes to events, whether it's functions for your work in conferences or a wedding. Give them a thought, give them a click on hutchesweather.com. Now let's take a look at some other offerings here on Hutch's Weather. You see the road conditions button in the upper corner here? This is where you want to go. And when you click on it, you're going to get taken to this menu that shows you all of the area states, provinces in Canada, and this is what we have. These purple filled counties up here, those areas are in a travel alert tonight. The wind has blown snow, even though we saw temperatures today that were melt worthy. It's blowing snow on area roads and making it very slick, and people were hitting that, and well, it was causing some crashes out there. That continues tonight. The yellow roads, by the way, on the North Dakota map here, illustrative of some areas that continue to have some snow-covered roads or icy road conditions across the area. Taking a look at a couple of the cameras, let's zoom in right into the Minot zone here and take you onto the east side of town, and this is what we're seeing out there in Minot. Now, this area road here definitely has some snow and ice compacted on it, so it is indeed on the side of slippery. Keep that in mind as you're traveling across the area tonight. Looking into Minnesota, let's take a quick peek at what you can anticipate there. The winds today still strong, but we do have some fresh fallen snow, and I did get some folks that shared me some photos in and around the Bemidji area of some grapple or snow pellets in the area. Now, we do see that area up in north central North Dakota from the Red Lakes area north through Grigla and on all the way up through Marshall County and into Roseau County there. Well, we do have some roads that have that blue on it. That's partially covered roads across the area. A couple of crashes out there in the eastern Minnesota zone as well. Otherwise, the green roads just mean that we have roads that are seasonal for this time of the year. That doesn't mean they're perfect, so keep that in mind. That's what's going on right now. Now, as we go through the 24-hour forecast, I thought I'd update you on a chance of some snow showers that'll be making their way through the region. And as always the case on Hutch's Weather, you get to ask questions and be involved. So if you're watching on the YouTube channel, pound the subscribe button, ask a question. I'll address it as I see these things fly through. Kathy, thanks for joining me. Nathan, it's always a pleasure to have you on board. Another thing that helps Hutch is to make sure that you take the time to click the follow button on that Facebook page, as well as the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. Now, let's take a look at what's going on with our forecast, because northern Minnesota we'll have not one, but 2 chances of some light snow as we go through the next 24 hours. So here's what it looks like on the latest model as we carry you through the overnight hours. One thing you're going to notice is this north flow continuing across the area, quiet conditions for much of the evening tonight. Then, as we go into the time frame of the overnight hours, here we go, which is some light areas of snow popping on and off throughout the area as we go through. The best chance of snow will be in northern and central parts of Minnesota, gliding northward. See this red line here? That's a warm front. That warm bubble of air will be working its way through. However, as we go into our day, it does look like we'll have a chance as we go to Wednesday night and Thursday morning of seeing some cooler north flow working its way in for Friday. So a couple of chances of some snowflakes in the forecast, a couple of chances for more slippery roads, but more warmth in the forecast as well. Now, we do have some significant chances of extended forecast for some snow. And to show you the latest on that, I'm going to address it with a quick look at the European European model, which has had a big shift in the gear shifter as we've gone through. Now let's take a look at this first, and I want to point out that this is a long ways out. I know that, but what Hutch is doing here, showing you that we have models this far out that are both showing a significant storm rolling out of the Rockies and into the central and northern plains as we go into that first full week of the month of February. So here's the European model, and it's shown a significant change. Here comes a storm system as we go through the third. That's going to bring some snow as we go through across North Dakota. The European model does show that. It will be measurable for some of us and keep some slippery road conditions, and it's going to usher in another very cold air mass. This is an Arctic air mass sliding in. That sets the stage for a cold Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. Now we have cold air in place. Cold air don't have a lot of moisture in it. Now, all the moisture available for snow will come from the Gulf of Mexico or with what these air masses bring with them as they work their way towards us. Here it is. A Colorado-style low develops, moves out into the central plains, grabs and lobs moist air from the Gulf of Mexico into the northern plains, and the European model has shifted this system north by about 200 miles over what it showed yesterday, in more agreement with what the American model was showing the last 2 days. So now the American model is the one that has really been the most stable with regards to this particular forecast. Both models show a chance of some substantial snow the 6th through the 7th, maybe into the 8th for parts of Minnesota. The timing is still a little bit suspect, but we'll keep our eyes on that for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have going on in your forecast for tonight. Two things to know. Thing number one is we'll have temperatures in the 20s, minus 25. That means slippery conditions. Spotty flakes of snow mainly along northern Minnesota. Winds, it'll be gusty early in the overnight and then tapering down towards 10 to 15 miles per hour for morning. 26 Fargo, 23 for you folks in the Grand Forks area. Devils Lake, 23 degrees. Jim, thank you for your report today. I do appreciate you up there in that area of northeast North Dakota in the Devils Lake Basin. 16 degrees for a temperature as you get out the door in Wadena, and it looks like 17 for Babe the Blue Ox in Bemidji. Now, as we head into your forecast for the afternoon, this is what it looks like. Can you look? I'm going to pack my suitcases and head to Dickinson. 54 degrees there, 53 in the oil patch. How about Sidney, Montana? 57 degrees, and Glendive not bad at 54. A little bit cooler up there in that Minot zone and points east towards Rolla and Rugby. 30s there. Same thing goes for northern Minnesota, and this northern Minnesota area will be super duper, but just north of this area near War Road, Lake of the Woods, there'll be a chance for a flake or two of renegade snow. Sunset, 5:24 p.m. See the blue circle? That's highlighting your temperature there in Badette, 23 degrees. Compare that to the red circle down here, 63. That's a 40 degree difference in temperature across this zone. Grand Forks and Fargo sitting in those mid 30s once again, as it'll be a little bit cooler than what we experienced yesterday and today. Now, here's a look at your planning forecast. We stay very mild Wednesday, Thursday, big hiccup. Pardon me, excuse me, please, on Friday. Looks like we'll have a chance for some wild weather. I think I clicked a button and I didn't mean to, so let me find the 7-day planner. It's live. It's broadcasting live, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, warm Wednesday, warm Thursday, Friday, falling temperatures throughout the day. 17 in the morning, down arrow, and then at night, weirdness happens again, and instead of cooling off at night, we warm up at night a degree or two. So steady to warming temperatures into Saturday means we start the weekend on an okay note, but remember, we'll have a chance for some snow showers as we go from Saturday into Sunday, and it could be measurable. We're only talking, though, about a couple of inches. I will keep you posted. The most significant storm system comes after the Arctic air mass makes its way in. There's that old blue-faced fella once again. Sub-zero morning temperatures as we go into your Monday and into your Tuesday. Now let me see if we've got some. Oh, thank you, Kathy, for the stars. I sure appreciate it. And I appreciate the fact that we have the stars turned on again here for my live broadcast. Jackie, thank you for being a part of that, as well as Joanne. Thanks, Cheryl. Good to have you on board, Kathy. And now let's take a look at some questions from the other channel that we have watching right now. And that's if you are watching my channel here on YouTube, I'd love to have you say hi. I'm going to type a note to you right now. I got to tell you, it's just kind of fun to do this answering questions business because it keeps Hutch on his toes. I want to talk about this, and I want to talk about the bottom line. You're not hearing this one everywhere, but I am watching a storm system between February 6th and 8th over the last couple of days. This system has changed, and it will continue to change, but it brings our area, the northern plains, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Manitoba, this area, the best chance of some appreciable snow that'll take more than a shovel to clean up in a long time. So that means we could get some decent snow showers for those of you that consider snow showers decent, over 4 inches, impacting travel and also impacting, well, getting to work and back from work and all of those things. And it's here on Hutch's Bottom Line. Let me go over the details on that. I showed you a quick snippet from the European model. Here's what I have for you. Let's compare 2 models real quickly. American model shows the pink here. That's the bullseye of the storm. And the American model has been pretty consistent for the last 2 days. Now we'll turn the page and Hutch will move out the way. Okay, here we go. Now we're moving out the way and look at this. The European model, which had butt kiss in the last couple of days, has moved this system northward. And because of that, it has appreciable snow from northeast Montana, Glacier National Park, and Glasgow, Montana, straight into Duluth, Minnesota, and the Iron Range. Hi, Spursy. Good to have you on board from Grand Forks. It's a pleasure to have you on watching Hutch's Weather right here. And again, you know what I want you to do? Take time to pass the good word that Hutch is here watching the weather for you on Hutch's Weather. It really does help me out. So now let's take a closer look at this American model, shall we? Do not pay particular attention to these numbers. You might see videos where people are making a big deal about this or using this as a forecast. It's not. It's a model. And it's guidance. It helps us meteorologists kind of keep our eyes on a storm system. This is a global model, and a global model tends to overblow the aerial coverage of the snow, and it tends to overblow the aerial coverage of the heavy snow as well. So normally, what we'll see is a much more narrow band of heavy snow. And as you know, we can have one side of town that gets very little and the other side of town that gets a little bit more shovel trouble. It goes right through the Red River Valley on this American model, right into central Minnesota. Snowmobiles aplenty in that Park Rapids area. Look like it could be a possibility with this particular system. So I'll keep that in mind as I'm making my forecast here, because this can shift a lot over the next few days. And that will have impacts on what it is we're going to experience here across the valley. Now, hi from Hunter, says Jenny. Good to have you on. Brenda says, oh dear. Davis, thank you very much. And Davis, while I have you on, everybody hold on, because I'm going to show you the European model next, and then Davis took an outstanding picture that was uploaded to hutchesweather.com. We're going to share that as well in a moment. But right now, focusing on the European model, which has had a big shift in the track of this storm system. Let's start in eastern Montana. If you're in Glendive, points north towards Circle, Montana, or Fort Peck Reservoir right here, right into the Yellowstone River Valley, where it merges in place here with the Missouri River Valley. That'd be around Culbertson and in towards Williston. We're going to get some appreciable snow potential there. And look at this. Very similar in the track to the American model. So keeping this in mind, we're not paying attention at this point to the numbers that are on this. It depends on how fast it moves through. It depends on whether it's grabbing moist air or dry air and what happens. And we simply don't know that yet. But the potential is there for some bands of heavy snow moving right into Duluth. And that's the same thing. Now on to Hutch's Weather photo uploads, because without you, we wouldn't have them. And there's been some dandies out here as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at a couple that were shared tonight. This is a dandy, right? We're talking about some beautiful Callaway skies. Thank you, Ricky, for sharing this photo out there of the Callaway area. And I got to tell you, Lakes Country just beaming, as is this one. Julia, thank you. Look at that. It looks like cotton candy, and it kind of has, I might be wrong, kind of has some Denver Bronco colors. You see the orange and blue? Are you with me? Do you hear what I'm saying? I think it might. And then we have this one. Now, my friend Davis shared this, and it's a gorgeous shot. And in this, you see the sky up there. We had all these planets that are lined up. And I got to tell you what, we've had a lot and a treat to see in the skies. And it's photos like this that make Hutch smile. I even asked Davis, what was it you were seeing out there? So we've got big time planets out there like Venus. It's one of the brighter stars that you see out there. It's actually a planet, but we'll call it a star because when you look up, it kind of looks like a star. It's just really, really bright. And a lot of other planets streaming through, including Saturn as well. So a lot of photos shared by you. You can see them, and you can upload your very own photos right there on hutchesweather.com at the photo upload page. All right, let me see if there's any other questions. It looks like that's it. Brenda says hi to Pedro and Leo. Pedro is down here taking a nap on the job, but he was helping me all day long, keeping up with stuff. Leo, I think, is taking a nap elsewhere after filling up on some snacks as well. Again, The roads in North Dakota, they have some issues. We want to make sure that you're aware that there's a travel alert along the northern tier. Highway 5, north-south on 83 through Minot, toward the air base, south towards Max. That's some slippery, slidey conditions. Green means seasonal road conditions elsewhere, but when you get up in north-central North Dakota, because of the winds, things were a little slippery. Remember, know before you go. First thing in the morning, head on over to hutchesweather.com. You can get the latest. And again, please click the follow button on Facebook. Thank you so very much for your support. And also, consider subscribing on my YouTube channel as well. For now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. I want each and every one of you to know I appreciate you. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for your trust. Have a great night, and we'll talk again soon.